Welcome back to InsideX episode number 9, and we have a good one here for you today. Took that little bit of break, and we came back. We have Roodz Garage. He's actually going to come in studio, but before he comes in studio, he's going to ride that bike. He's going to test it out. It's been a long awaited. You'll find out why we waited, but that is a little bit later on before Roodz comes in. Obviously, Arma Rewind. All the way back to Morton 2007. And man, I was blown away by the track that they rode back in 2007. Beautiful place. Don't get me wrong. Manitoba, some of the best tracks in Canada. But man, we had some massive rain and some surprise winners there. And that's going to be with Ryan Gauld. Obviously, Ryan loves to steer the ship on that. He's got all the memories. And this one, he actually had a little mishap in the Morton. So we'll find out about that as well. And then I keep Ryan in studio. We're going to talk about that 250 class this year. So 07 Morton. And then I get to talk about the 2021. And we'll see who he thinks the guy is to beat. Obviously, a lot of young riders, Canadian, maybe a couple Americans in the mix. So it's going to be a surprise. It might be a new winner this year, 2021, 250 class. And then we're going to finish up with that gas social media. Those guys, the brand new bikes, the red machines, and they're going to bring us the social media before we end the show there. So stay tuned. Lots of good stuff here. We're going to get to that track with that dream bike. Parts Canada taking care of us, Royal Distributing, obviously those guys. And of course, Yamaha bringing us that was blue machine, now going to be white machine. So we're going to see Roodz in a bit. You stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I will never stop. Would you want me to slow down? Would that make it easier for you? Or would you want the fight? The pour your heart into it kind of fight? Or should I stop working so hard? I know you'd want me to slow down. I know it would make it easier for you. But then the gate drops. I wouldn't be anywhere else. One goal, one vision.
Welcome back to InsideX, and we're getting ready for that Arma Rewind segment. And you know what that means, my guy, Ryan Gauld, in the booth. How do you say that? In the booth?
That's the costume?
The booth.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and we're going to be in the booth soon doing the Triple Crown calls here, but we still got some rewinds to take care of. We're going back to 2007 Morden, and that's Manitoba.
A very ugly day in Canadian motocross history here. Actually, probably the ugliest mud race the series has ever seen since its infancy. And I actually was not there that day. I missed my plane.
I was gonna
a great story there. I missed my plane hanging out with my buddy Thorny. Thanks, Thorny, for that. I'll blame him for that. And Stolly was very mad all weekend. And then, as we could see in the rest of the show when we get to the Arma Rewind, it's an upsetting day. It was nasty. It was nasty out there.
I guess we'll roll that tape then.
Yeah, let's get right into it right there. Yeah, let's get right into this. It was an ugly mess. Morden Manitoba 2007 there, the 30 board to the sky. And as you can see right there, it doesn't look that bad.
No, it looks tacky.
Yeah.
And crazy thing about Manitoba, and you always hear it, it's like a 50-50 chance of a mutter. And this day in 07, it became nasty. But yeah, right off the line there, the 250 guys. And I want to say this was another year that Nelson was up there.
Jimmy Nelson? Yeah, Jimmy Nelson was getting, you can see him right there, the number 1 plate on the Blackfoot Yamaha. And look, he gets right into the lead. Great Davenport, a name you probably haven't heard in a long time. That's right up there in that second spot. The yellow flag in the background, you're going to see a lot of those in this one. This is a great video to show for how the yellow flag needs to be used in a mud race. But as you can see, it's not that bad right here, but right around this point is when the rains start coming down, and you can see it on the cameras. dangerous and getting ugly. But you can see, it's not horrible stuff. They got Davenport right there. I think that's Urquhart in that third position right there. Maybe that's Urquhart, actually. That's Urquhart right there in that fifth, the 5-4-6. And the rest of the boys clicking through there. But and lots of hitting going on. But, man, we are going to see some spectacular and very humorous crashes.
Yeah, so this first moto, like you see, tacky, you got that's Gray Davenport's first race, I believe, with that team?
Yes, this was the opening round of 2007 on the West Coast for the same. So, so this is Gray actually rode a couple of the series the year before. Okay. And, I'm jogging Ben...
Ben Evans.
Ben Evans. That's who he was battling with. There's Tucker Hibbert, multi-time snowcross champion right there. There's Ben Evans. And that was Hibbert and his teammate there. Yeah, Beaton going around the outside. Is that right there? Hard to see. But as you look at it, it looks beautiful right now. And this track, like a lot of the Manitoba tracks, picturesque. A beautiful scenery, up and down hills, tacky soil. You can see the track from anywhere in the spectator points, but you can see the flag in the background. They got the raincoat on. They know what's coming.
Oh, yeah.
They know, the locals know. It's like, what do they say? I could see my dog running away for 4 days or whatever it is across the field, and you could sense the nastiness coming in. There's Hibbert working his way through, and you can see now it's starting to get a little ugly. Look at the mud all over the front of him here, and man, we're gonna get into some hilarious. But look at Jimmy Nelson. Good thing about you get that roadstribune.com hole shot, right? You don't get dirty.
Especially on that number one. But talking about Hibbert there, look at the Beaton going for a pass here on Evans. These guys went at it in this mud, and you can see again slippery. But Hibbert, he was on that Kawasaki Cernix team. Is that correct?
Look at that pass. That beautiful pass. Yeah, Hibbert was. That's right. The Monster Energy Cernix. And he was kind of a privateer leading up there. Snowcross was still his thing. And then this year, he actually started turning some heads. He won a moto in 2007 here later on in the series and was kind of tough with that. But look at this. Now it's starting to get nasty. Beaton getting out of there. Ben Evans just losing his body in that rut right there. And it is pouring. It is absolutely pouring right now. I think this is Eric Nye getting passed by Hibbert there. Yep. So Hibbert coming through. And as you can see, look at the picture. The pits right there. And now, Jimmy Nelson, look at this, splashing, kind of unable to get through some of the doubles that they normally would do right there. But look at the rain coming down. It is atrocious right now. These guys are wishing that the checkers are coming out instantly.
We've seen this a lot last year in 2020 with you and I sitting in the booth, and we were just looking out the window to rain. So
just with legs up like this, having a nice tea, watching the boys.
Yeah, but these guys dealing with it back in 07, it was like perfect track conditions to this, and Nelson trying to run away with this one. But a lot of heavy hitters, and I want to say that this was the last
coming off the camera. Yeah, that's an umbrella that is pouring off. He's got an umbrella that covers, so it's just pouring off into that stuff. Look at that. Jimmy Nelson going to grab that motor. Sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, no, I was going to say this is the last year that was West East, correct? 07?
Yes, that's right. It went to a full series the next year in 08, which we're going to see later on in our
there was some dockings.
That's right. Yeah, so he got docked out there, and look at that. Chris Kiefer, fourth place. Kiefer in testing right there and there. Hoyer in there. Nelson. So now, got docked, and Ben Evans ends up getting the moto win out of that. Now this moto here is insane. We are going to see some unbelievable mud, smoke coming out of bikes, and we're going to see a very, not a surprise, I guess, winner in this one.
One-time winner, though.
A one-time winner, yeah, because they actually don't get to race that second moto. Yep. And an interesting story about this, and look, there's Medag's getting whole shot, sliding across right there. Picturesque. Where was Lismore on that one? We got to find the Lismore shot. And then look at guys all over the place. But the two OTSF guys are already battling. I think Mitch Cook makes the pass already. So Mitch Cook into the lead. Interesting story here. Right around this time is when the recluse clutch was starting to become something that people would use in motocross.
Yeah.
And it was getting used in the States quite a bit already, I think. But in Canada, Mitch Cook was the first ever athlete, and this is one of the first races that put that clutch on the map. And he was the first one to use it. And right here, this is the very first moto win on Canadian soil with the recluse clutch. I can't remember the name of that one. It was the one with the balls in it. It was really
I know the one you're talking about.
It was hard to put together and stuff, and it was the one where your clutch did not actually work. Like you didn't have a cable connected to it and stuff like that. But so he gets up front. There's Blair Morgan right there. This is gonna be a hard one to remember who's who. Look at that. I'm so glad. I'm sipping an Arma right now, just watching this, getting blitzed up as I yell at these guys. Look at the splashing and the crashing.
That looks like Morgan right
running into each other. Look at, they can barely get up the hill right now. Oh my God,
it's tough.
Yeah, and just that's Tremblay, I think, right there. Yeah. Tremblay was really good in the mud. You had Paulie Carpenter in this, Jeff Gibson. I think that's Jeff Gibson maybe on the outside.
Off track there.
Or Carpenter. I don't know who's. I think that's Medag's pass. Look at the
Carpenter's this is the year that Carpenter did win. Fasciotti, Gibson got third, so that Cowie team was pretty strong.
Yeah, they were good. They were good all year. A couple of great races. But look at Mitch Cook. Actually, Adam Robinson, Disco Stu, is his mechanic here. Current suspension guy out there in our Canadian market. And he was just blown away. He's like, I couldn't believe the bike stayed together. I couldn't, just the mess of everything. And there's Tremblay making the pass on T-Dags, but up again on the inside. T-Dags.
Nice
Weird
pass.
T-Dags is good in the mud here, riding, just like some logs, maybe a car in there or something. It's good to go.
I mean, being a motocross guy and an enduro guy that T-Dags is, and his stature isn't set for those kind of things. So his conditions, right? He's shorter, more of like a Tim Tremblay track where he's got the legs to get through this stuff, but they battled.
Look at there. So they're still going at it. Look at the difference in size.
Yeah.
This is like me and you right here, Kyle. Like I'm just so much bigger than you, and you're that little guy T-Dags. But look at Tim Tremblay, just the full Mammoth Mountain kind of going by. T-Dags grabbing a tear off there, kind of hanging in, but it just keeps getting nastier and nastier. I think that's Mason Phillips.
No, that is, is that a KTM?
I think that's a KTM. I think that's Mason Phillips right there. So there's your top three. Cook, Tremblay, Medags. Cook is pretty much checked out. Look at this. There's Medags punting Tremblay off the track. So still in the nonsense. Like there was such great racing on this day. And here's Mitch Cook just reclusing around. Just reclusing around, and this is the year that he got help. Watch this! Like this landing on a down rider. I think that's
Snyder down.
That's right. That Snyder gets landed on. I think we see.
Oh, look at this!
We stay. Oh, it's our 5-time.
5-time. He's not fist pumping on this arm.
Yeah, there's no double arms come up. Well, the rig's like go. It's more of a like, "What's up, guys? Help me out here," kind of thing. But lots of accidents happening in this right there. That was a pass, I think. Oh, that's Keast. So Keast moves himself all the way up. I want to say he actually passes Cook at some point because Cook goes down, and then I believe Keast has a bike issue late in the moto, and he ends up I want to say he gets 13th. There's 5-time. There's 5-time.
He's getting help from looks like a French mechanic.
Yeah, actually, that is the mechanic, I believe, for Nathaniel Bossum back then.
That's right. You're right.
Nathaniel Bossum back then. So there's a 5-time pulling out going, man, I think I should have retired. We should have. Dusty Clad put me in a pasture, and I should have made, like, you can't even get around. It's just slippery. Look at them just edging. They're going so slow. This is like watching the type class at the local races right now, these guys. It's kind of those embarrassing moments, but look at, Cook was so good, except little saucy.
That's just what I never
questionable lines. Look at the line in the grass.
Oh yeah, there's some traction.
Where's the track out there? Like, there's the 5-time. Whoa, hang on to her, champ. Hang on to her.
Just so greased up out there.
It was so nasty. It's much like a Walton type sole too. It just gets glued to your bike. Here's Fasciotti.
There's 6-time.
Donuts. Yeah,
5-time and 6-time not too good in the mud.
5-time and 6-time wishing they were not here on this day. And wait, is this the one? Did we get this shot? Is this? Yes, it is. Watch this. Okay. Flagger, the flagger getting fully taken out by Mitch Cook right there. But he's still in the lead. He's got like a 30-second lead. I think this is where Keast gets him. I don't know if it gets shown in our rewind here, but Keast gets by him at this point. But this is the other thing too. He doesn't have to pull the clutch in to start the bike.
Oh, yeah, he's got he's just kicking it.
There it is. Keast. So Keast does get him there. So there's the pass. So now Keast is in the lead on the privateer machine racing. Cook gets it going in the mud here. Recluse, and then boom, now Keast is down.
Yeah.
So this shifts him back, and he has a hard time getting the bike going. The guy's in the background. What is it? I can't know if a guy's going backwards behind him there, going forwards on the track. One guy's going one way, one guy's going the next.
Oh no! Look at
T-Dag's bike just blew up right there. We just sent him over to.
He's got the vape machine going
right there. But here's Cook. I think this might be the finish line coming up. And if you watch him, look at this. Oh, 1 lap to go. Just going, come on, dude.
Like 5 minutes of racing.
Yeah, exactly. The lap times were a little bit long on this day. They were a little bit long on this particular Arma. But just the nastiness of this place, that it just stuck to your bike. The one good thing sort of that kind of did keep a lot, it kept raining. There's Fasciotti again. Laying down. 6-time crashed 6 times in that moto.
11 championships. They can't ride the mud.
Yeah, but it kept raining, which is good when it turned that clay.
Oh, he's down again.
Last lap, Cook goes down again. But watch this. Bike stayed running.
Oh,
the Recluse clutch literally saved him on this day. Look at this. Who was that? That was, that's 5-time again.
Oh, gosh.
It is. It's 5-time going down. So 6-time crash 6 times, 5-time crash 5 times. They're not gonna. If they're watching these, they're not gonna like these reruns. They're like, what the heck,
got Banner all over him here.
Banner just blew off the track into his bars. It's just pure chaos. This is like war.
This is this uphill. Look at how nasty this is. You have to walk this thing up.
My God, watching these guys do this, like he has to push it. He's winning the race right now. He's winning the race, and he's off the bike, pushing it forward. It's on fire.
Flagger's trying to help get that.
I don't know. I was trying to get the banner.
Yeah.
I was ripping his transponder off right there, trying not to get scored. There's poor Schneider. His bike's just KO'd from Tim Tremblay landing on him 20 minutes ago. There's 5-time. Hey, Mitch. See you later, buddy. Take it easy, man. We'll see you at the finish line. Like, just soft.
Oh, man. He got lapped twice or 3 times.
In the booth, too, Travers Costa, they were laughing like we're laughing now because it was just so hard not to. The best guys here kind of looking silly, but Mitch Cook brings it home. Rockstar Energy OTSF team back in the day. Charlie Designs backing him up with the gear. And then this is the best part. He crosses, and he's like, did I? Yeah, me?
Yeah,
did I win? Are we? Is it me? And then he's not even like, oh, there it is. Just a little not the double fisting like JSR.
No.
And this is where it gets crazy here. We do get into a second 250 moto, about 25 seconds, a minute 37 behind for Tremblay, takes third. So they're 2 laps down. Julian Cerny gets 10th, Gibson up there, Dubé, Morgan.
Yeah, quiet for Carpenter.
And this is it right here.
This is the 250 one here.
This is the revolt. This is against the community of racing. There's my good old Stolly.
So what happened here when watching this replay is the 251 they canceled. The CMRC said, nope, we're not going. But they're going to race the 450 and they're going to plow the mud off.
Yeah, they were going to clean the track and try to get going. Here's Keast right now just flexing on everybody. Yeah, you're going to race? Yeah? Yeah, come on out. I'll fight you on the start line, basically is what he's saying there. Here's the riders signing a petition to say, no, we're not going.
Fraser?
Davey Fraser right there, the most hated man on this day by a lot of the guys that signed it. There's Berkey, Gibson. There's Chucky Mesley over there. He's not racing. He's not doing that. Jeff Northrup signing it up. So they sign a petition. Homans. He's like, it's not in French. I can't read this right now. Keast, he's trying to explain it. Homans, just listen to me. There's 5 times.
5 times, like, absolutely not. Not again.
Poor Randy Hall. There's Brett Lee. Look at, he's skinny back then like he is now. Good to see him. Randy Hall going, don't talk to me in the background out there. He's just trying to figure out what's going on. It was such a crazy moment. Again, I wasn't here at this time. I haven't missed a lot of the races for the thing, but just a crazy moment in the history of it there. And yeah, what ended up happening, they ended up having, I think, 6 or 7 guys go. They called it the Good Times Moto.
Okay.
They paid some money on it. I think Ham, not the Ham that we know.
I know the Ham you're talking about.
The one that just brought the girls to the races last year there. Yeah. I can't remember if it was him or it was a cousin or something. He ended up racing it, and they won it, and they had a podium thing like that. And then, but after that, it was an ugly scene from rider to CMRC, and there was a lot of
disconnect there.
And of course, they have a show just like we do now. We have a live television show to produce, right? Back then, it wasn't live, so there was a little bit of leeway there. But we gotta go. Like, yeah, man, you're spending money and the bikes are breaking, but we gotta go racing, man. This is how it's gotta go. And back then, right there, it was a little bit of a chip for some of the races, but I mean, I don't think I would have wanted to race.
You didn't miss anything when you missed that flight, did you?
No, I didn't. Well, I missed a few phone calls from Stolly. A few angry phone calls from Stolly that day.
But that was a good one. 2007 Morden and a muddy one, like they said. It's like
ugliest one in the history right there. That is the ugliest motocross race in the history of Canada.
Entertaining though, 13, 14 years later, we loved it.
Yeah, I got a couple giggles out of it. My belly hurts. I got a nice ab workout.
And that was Mitch Cook's only win.
Yeah, only moto win ever. Oh, well, I got the overall because
got the overall. Yeah, that's what I meant.
So yeah, only win overall right there. How was that?
Wow, good race in there. That's another Arma Rewind in the books. Join us next week as we climb through the ladder. We're getting closer to the 2010s, and check us in a little bit. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. We're done with the old Arma Rewind, the 07, and we're going to talk about 2021 Gauldy, and I'm going to bring up the 250 class because we have a ton of new talent, and like you said before the show, there's going to be a new winner this year, and who will it be? First couple guys right off the top of my mind I want you to talk about is Tanner Ward and Marco Canella. They have to do it.
The thing you've said on, we are guaranteed a brand new Canadian champion no matter what. That is one thing that is stamped on the 21 250 series. So that is very cool knowing that. And then the next thing in before I get to Ward and Canella is who's going to take the reins? Like, this could be that changing of the guard as far as maybe who's the next Pettis or the Dylan Wright, and paving that way for Canadian racing, whether it's going down stateside or GPs, the nations, and then obviously moving into the 450 class. All the teams are going to be looking at that. So this is a big year, not just for these riders, but for our Canadian package as well. And now let's get into MX101 FXR Yamaha rider Marco Cannella. I see him being the guy. Like the way that he ended last year, he has to come in that same strength, that same aggression, and coming in. And I'd say he is like 1A, and Tanner Ward is 1B as the guys to watch tonight. The only reason I give Tanner just a little bit less is just because his consistency on that outdoor level is where it sort of bit him a little bit. And Marco has a little bit more of that consistency. Now, does that change this year? Is something different? I know the bikes are a little bit more developed. He's got more time with the team, all that comfort zone stuff like that. So I could be wrong, but they're so hard to kind of place one or the other. But those two guys right there, I think, are the ones, like I said, changing the guard. They're the next two names in Canadian moto, I think, that need to take this series by rein. And by the end of it, if they don't have the number one on it, it has to be within the championship battle at that last race.
And I'm going to go the other way with that. So Cannella, you think he's kind of the top dog there, and I would agree. The way he was doing Supercross, he showed some desperation where he was trying to push for that win, him and Marshall Welton going back and forth. But I got to give a little bit of a nod to Tanner Ward getting it done last year, getting the monkey off the back and getting that first national win.
Right, 100%. He does have that win over top. So confidence, it's such a big thing in this game as well for racing air. So the Honda Canada GR Fox, Tanner Ward, like I said, their stat sheet literally from amateur to pro is like so close. Amazing. And identical that it's going to be really hard to pick. And like I said, I think just the way that Marco finished the series last year, I mean, it's almost 365 days later, considering how COVID is keep backing us up and stuff. But I just give him that little bit of a nod that I think that he'll have that edge and for that out there look. But the next guy I think we got to bring in is the Monster Energy Parts Canada rider, Darian Sinai. Now, not a lot of people may know him on our Canadian side, but he is a well-rounded racer. He's been to GPs. He's actually raced in Canada before. He went 4-4 for third overall back in like 17, I think, or 18. One of the championship years that Benoit won it. So this kid knows how to race. He's super fast. He's an American that's getting brought up right there. Looking at the stat sheet and speed-wise, that stuff, you almost want to give him the nod, but home court advantage, Kyle. Court advantage.
Talking before the show, it's home court advantage against experience. And when you race those GPs, much like Marshall Welton did, and I feel like Sinai's done it at a little bit higher level than even Welton. Is just like, man, that experience goes. Look at what Osborne did in the U.S. He came back after how many years in the GPs, and now he's winning championships, Supercross, Outdoors, 450 championship. So you got to think that translates into something. It doesn't matter where the kid goes; he's going to bring his A game. The
only thing I see that maybe is the negative, maybe for many years, and this isn't a big one, but Marshall had some bike issues last year. A little bit in the mud, yes, mud stuff, but the speed, that bike just doesn't seem as good as Pettis's. Maybe it's motor packaging, whatever it was, or maybe Marshall was a little bit bigger. So I know those guys have been working tirelessly, and that's what they do as a team. So if they've elevated that to kind of match what that MX101 bike or even that KTM package that is in there, and of course the GDR bikes, we know they're good. So that would be that only little sort of maybe questionable thing, I guess, heading into the season.
No, that's a good point, because you look at GDR Honda, proven bike, one with Dylan Wright. Yamaha's won multiple championships there. Obviously, KTM doesn't have a heavy hitter this year. They got Piccolo there. We'll talk about it in a second. But the Cowie, Moffenbauer couldn't win on it. Medaglia didn't do great on it. And then Welton came close. But so the Cowie's got to be a question. They'll be doing some off-season work on that.
You even look globally. The Kawasaki 250 has not really proven as well right now in the levels of the top guys. And it's not like it's a horrible bike or Pro Circuit in the States is a bad team or the MXGP team. It's just like these other guys seem to might have a little bit something up their bag. So that'll be an interesting thing to see as we head into the season. And talk about KTM.
Yeah. So what I was going to bring up next, KTM's counterpart, the Gas Gainer, who has grown up, and you've seen them race for a year. Cannella, Tanner Ward, and Gainer was in that mix. He's on the Gas unit now in the 250 class. I
don't know if I like this up and down jumping big bike to small bike thing. I don't know. It didn't work for Tyler Medaglia, and he's such an experienced boss. Yeah. Now, Sam's a lot younger. He's, a little bit more maybe aggressive and all that kind of stuff, but I just kind of find that jumping back and forth, hard to do in our series, especially so it's so compact, and it's like you got to be ready to go out of the gate. It's not a 3-4 month deal, right?
No,
it's tight, right?
Yeah.
We're 6-7 straight weeks kind of thing. So I like what I've seen so far in Gainer. I've seen him ride a couple local things, and I like what I see. And he kind of came up in sort of that Ward Canella packaging in there a few years back too. So. But a brand new bike for Steve Sims and the TLD team, motor package, suspension, all new things. So it's going to be interesting to see where that one goes.
I've talked to Sam, and he actually he jumped back on the 450 for a little bit, and he's like, I don't like it. He's like, I like the 250. I feel comfortable. I feel competitive on this, and he's going to bring that experience of racing with the big guys into that little bike class, and I think it'll help him. We've seen him have some good motos against his teammate last year, Moff, and battle up front when he got some starts. He didn't always finish up with those top echelon riders, but man, at least he's seen that speed, and I think he'll bring it into that the 5-minute shorter moto. But then we're rolling down the list. We got some other Canadian talent. Casey Keese on a Kawasaki. We got Quinn Amiot jumping on the Yamaha, which is a good bike. Yeah. And then Piccolo.
Piccolo and McNabb. And that group right there is where it's going to be interesting to see it. I kind of maybe put Quinn sort of on the tail end of that, maybe McNabb on the top side of it. But Piccolo, I think, is the big question mark. We saw what an amazing moto, or even weekend, I guess it was. He had at Sandali last year to close out the series, and our good buddy Phil Nicoletti texted me a little while ago. That's his pick, and I've heard from a couple other people that he's ripping down at Club MX now. Yeah, practice track, yada yada yada, lap times.
You know what though? I've watched I'm big on Instagram. I watched what they do there at Club MX. They simulate these motos, and he's racing and riding against Marshall Welton, Phil Nicoletti, and all those Supercross guys,
Banks, stuff like that. Yeah.
Like he's there's no slouches there, and he's holding his own.
So it'll be interesting to see how he comes out. The MO on Piccolo is the speed, amazing. It's just keeping it together for that 25 minutes. But now you add that Walton weekend in where the 50, maybe that's so he comes out, say, on Friday and
that's his
gets
name
a fifth,
written all over it.
Gets a fifth or a sixth on Friday and then bangs maybe a 1-1-1 or a 1-2-1 or, you know what I mean? Like, and it changes the whole confidence level right there, 5 motos into the series kind of thing. So that first weekend is going to be so interesting with these guys. And again, McNabb, same sort of thing. Speed-wise, unreal. Starts weren't great. But that kid set some of the fastest laps on the last lap of 4 or 5 motos it was last year. So it was crazy to see. So if he kind of cleans up that start, he's going to be fast. And he's the young. He's young. He doesn't have a care in the world. He can't even drive a car yet. Kind of thing. So
he's still he's 15 years old. He's got. I mean, what do you say? Peak years are 20 to 25. He's 5 years off his peak.
Yeah, he's craft dinner all the time. You know what I mean? It's amazing. And we were at Go for News a month ago. He's playing in the sand with a little kid digging holes and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see where it is. But I mean, obviously the speed and bike package all there. And then you move over to Amiot. Now is he getting the entire package of what the merge racing and everything, the troll training? And is that the same bike? He's
on the troll training. He works with Alex. And I want to say that why wouldn't they roll?
I don't question his harder training. I think that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
It's just on the track racing. He's missing just that, I don't know, it's something. There's something there, whether it's toughness or just a little bit of speed. There's something missing, but maybe this is the ticket.
Yeah. I mean, he's been on the privateer KTM. Now he's got some backing with an actual, setup behind him. And then it brings me to the next point. If his teammate comes up, Ryder Floyd, is he going to get across? I know there's been paperwork, kind of put in there that he's going to be coming. And that's a guy that's won up here and battled up front. So, man, that's
in the muddy arena cross.
Yeah, in the muddy arena cross. Hey, a win's a win, and he can get it done, and he can battle with the best of them, and he's good outdoors.
And the BC guys, Keist and Bennick. Yeah. Bennick under the Aldic squad, Sky Racing.
Sky Racing. Yep.
And then Casey Keist going with Team PRMX.
With Carlson supporting it.
Yeah, Carlson supporting that. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I think Keaston's another question mark because with that Supercross, he's so skilled. He kind of sees maybe he kind of opened his own eyes, going, "Man, this is so cool. I've got such an opportunity." And he's still young. I think he's only 19 or 20 still. So he could now we're going through this. I'm like, man, this could really turn out to be quite a series in the 250 class. And there's no veteran.
No,
we have no veteran. I guess maybe Sinai could be a veteran, but I think he's only 20 as far as age. But he's experience-wise, he's 21, so he could maybe have a beverage in America. He's a veteran at 21, so it could really turn out to be quite a series in 250. And like I said, we keep talking about these names. You're like, wow, yeah. And then you add that sort of strange option with the Walton 2, with the 15-minute motos. That's. after Walton, I feel like we might have to have another one of these conversations.
We're going to have another talk
because it's
before
gonna be
Supercross too.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who kind of comes in on top. But Cannell and Ward, Sinai, I think are those top three guys right now that are you got to be your championship contenders.
Yep, that's we've talked about that before the show, and we talked about it now. That's who we're going in. We're going to talk again after Walton, obviously, because we'll double back and we'll say maybe Gaynor was the guy.
We don't know anything. We're just guessing. It's a guessing game up in here.
That's another segment there, and we'll catch up with the 450 guys in the next episode. But we're going to jump to a quick commercial break. Welcome back to InsideX, and I know I've promised you guys for weeks now, and today's the day. We're going to head to the track with Roodz Garage and try out that Parts Canada Dream Bike, so you can head over there right now. have it. Roods out on that brand new fresh bike, and I have Roods in here in studio. We're going to talk about that Parts Canada Dream Bike, and right off the top, how was it?
I loved it. I've been on a 4-stroke since 2002. To go back to the 2-stroke was a little scary. I didn't know what was going to happen, but when I got on that bike, I was absolutely comfortable. It brought me back, but it kept me current. This machine felt... It's a 2021 and it felt like a 2021.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I loved it.
The thing looked clean out there, and the shots are great from the guys there. One thing that we're going to keep our viewers up to the notch is the reason we had to hold off is you had a little incident on the old 500. So you're all healed up now, though.
So that's the thing with the 2-stroke and what I was talking about being on a current bike. So you're on a 97 CR500. Way overpowered for the technology in that frame, man. The seat is a couch. It feels like this. This is the seat to the 500. And yeah, she threw me. I got too comfortable. I got too confident. I got too cocky. And I'm a once a week kind of guy, rider. And it threw me on my back. So yeah, I was down and out for a few days.
Okay, so, and actually seeing the end of that crash, the bike's just rolling off. You're on the ground. It was unfortunate. So we postponed things. No worries. You got out on the bike. We got some great shots of it, and you got to feel it out. Now compared, you got the 500, you had a 450, and now you got the 250. In comparison, which way does that 250 lean? Does it lean towards the 500?
No, absolutely leans towards the 450. When we got this bike broken in and I took it out for the initial ride, I felt just as comfortable on this bike as I have on a 450, like I said, that I've been on since 2002. Just the way it sat, the way it rode, a little less power than a 450, obviously, but it was smooth. It was nice. I was expecting it to just hit hard, like back in the 2-stroke days. It was just like, let the clutch out, full throttle. But no, it was nice.
And I got to say that the track you rode is a hard pack track, which doesn't favor the 2-strokes. Typically, it's an easy 4-stroke track. Now, I know you haven't probably rode too much on a 250, 250F 4-stroke. Would you say it's more of a big bike now that you got the head on there, you got the reeds on there, you got a bunch of parts to make it a little bit more torquey? Would it race against the 4-strokes fine, like the 450s?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
100%. Like I said, I felt just as comfortable. I was hitting all the same, like the track hadn't changed that much from when I rode it last on a 450 and a current 450. And I felt just as comfortable on the bike, jumping on it right away.
Right away. Yeah. New on that bike, and it clicked right away. One question I had was, now I seen you at the track, you were throwing some Renegade fuel in there.
Yeah.
And obviously you haven't tested with the just a pump gas, but the Renegade fuel, good power?
It's great. Immediately right off the hop, what I noticed was throttle response with that fuel. And a big thing for me, like I said, I'm a once a week kind of guy. The bike might sit there for 2 weeks, a month. This fuel can just sit in the tank without any type of separation like you're going to get with your standard pump fuel. Even your high test fuel, it's going to separate. You're going to have carburation issues. You're going to have injectors. You're going to have fuel system issues. This is a clear, ethanol-free, fuel stabilized, ready to rock. And it's weird. People think you have to race to use race fuel. You don't. Like I said, it's a guy like me, rides once in a while. I don't have to worry about my bike sitting 7 months over the winter.
Yeah.
And then starting it up and not being able to start it up come springtime, it will start up 100% out of cold storage.
I'm super guilty for that. I used to have like little pit bikes, and I just leave the fuel in over the winter.
It's terrible.
You get in the spring and you can't even start, you can't even run because it's all gummed up.
Yeah, and you got kids and stuff, they want to go ride, you fire the bikes. Well, you don't fire the bikes up, they can't ride. This fuel, and it's affordable. It's not that bad, and it is absolutely worth every cent.
Yeah, no, and I had 2-strokes in the early 2000s, and detonation's usually an issue, so just a little bit of a race fuel, and like, what is it, 97?
The stuff we were using was it was the 97, and it's just made to replace pump fuel. So people get worried, like, oh, I'll have to jet the bike, I'll have to do all kinds of carburation, or, I mean, I'm going back to carburetors because that's our dream bike. But anyway, you don't have to do that stuff with this. It's not like that.
Okay, now I know during filming, and you were doing a bunch of stuff to it, you said the favorite part was the graphics and seat. Is that still the favorite part, or was riding it the actual favorite part?
Well, when I actually was riding it, I was having fun. Yeah. I was having fun. The boys were out there filming, and you get a little nervous and stuff. I'm not a camera guy or whatever, but when I was on the bike, I felt really good on it. I loved it. I had a blast on that thing, man. I can't wait to ride it again.
Now, would you say for somebody grabbing a bike, 2-stroke, I know you didn't ride it stock, but that's something they could just grab. What parts would you put on a 2-stroke? Get on royaldistributing.com. What parts would you grab right off the hop? Just throw it on there.
Right off the hop, a pipe and silencer. I mean, It's two-stroke. So the pipe and silencer, it's not only the look factor, and we went with that Works pipe, that finish, man, it's unreal. A little more upkeep with that, right? You got to keep it greased up after you wash it, dry it off, whatever. But pipe and silencer on a two-stroke, huge advantage.
Yeah.
Huge advantage. And affordable advantage.
Then comfort-wise, all you did for the setup, and your handlebars, grips, levers, and foot pegs, kind of that's the only handling. Obviously, Steve Beattie did the suspension, but...
Man, did he ever. That stuff... And I weigh 238 pounds, so it's different being on a bike and being heavy, and he really made that stuff work good for me.
Yeah.
All I had to do was set the sag, good to go.
When we did that gas segment, he's talking about those bikes are typically set up for a 175 to 190 range. So yeah, 230, he had to beef it up a little bit, get that thing. And you got the springs right from Parts Canada. So
that's
those
right.
guys tiled it in.
Had to.
But man, this bike, when we put it in your garage, blue rims, blue everything to what it is now, it's a showpiece. Are you going to get out there and ride it, or are you selling this thing? What are you doing with this thing?
She's not for sale. She's not for sale. I've learned my lesson selling bikes.
Yeah.
I just don't sell bikes anymore. I just keep bikes.
Yeah.
Because down the road, why'd I sell that bike?
I know.
Every time. Talk to anybody. Be like, I wish I didn't sell that bike.
Yeah.
So I'm not that guy anymore. I do not sell bikes. I will ride this bike. I don't want to mess it up too much because it is a showpiece, and I'm just like, I just ride once in a while. But yeah, we're gonna keep it.
Yeah, I know. We see the bikes that are hanging on your shelf there. It's gonna be one of those one day. I feel like you're gonna ride it for a couple years. I know M7 hooked you up with some extra graphics.
Yeah.
So once it is a showpiece, you can strap it back to normal.
Yeah.
Because it's like one of those things, man. We put all this work into it, these fresh tires, and then you go ride it, and you're like, oh god, now it's a little dirty. I'm sure you spent some time cleaning it after the shoot.
Yep. No, yeah, I just scrubbed her, polished her back up. She's shiny white again.
Perfect, man. That's it's been quite a journey. There's been so many people that helped out with this bike. Is this something that you're going to continue doing? Like you're going to grab more bikes, maybe do it next year? We'll see what the show has to offer.
That's up to you, man. I would love to. I love this stuff. I love working on bikes, and I'd love to see what 2022 brings.
Is it always going to be a two-stroke?
It doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to be. There you go. Maybe electric.
Let's switch it up.
Get one of those Husky electric 50s. We'll soup it up for some kid.
You know what? That's the next step, man. And I'm into it.
Can you do much of those electrics? Maybe some graphics and seat cover.
The best part.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Anyways, Roods, man, it's been an awesome journey, and I know I got a lot of feedback with it, being on YouTube, being on Fox Sports, all that good stuff, and people are just loving this, and they gonna love this little segment here of you riding the bike finally.
Yeah.
And man, it's been a journey, and thank you for taking part of this, and all the people involved, Parts Canada, Road Distributing, all the brands. You can hit us up on our site, and obviously Yamaha for the bike. It's nothing but the best. Those guys taking care of us. We got the 4-strokes, you got the 2-stroke. Anyways, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
I will never stop. Would you want me to slow down? Would that make it easier for you? Or would you want the fight? The pour your heart into it kind of fight? Or should I stop working so hard? I know you'd want me to slow down. I know it would make it easier for you. But then the gate drops. I wouldn't be anywhere else. One goal, one vision.
All right, before we end the show today, Gas bringing you that social media check-in. Obviously, use that tag, and it's getting big, InsideX on Fox. That's the hashtag there. And right to start this show here, we got a gas machine, and it's Seth Hughes with that True North Motorsport there. Those guys dipping their toes into the pro class, and Seth is going to be debuting his pro career, and that'll be at Walton Round 1. But Seth looking good on that. You can check him out on social media. Seth Hughes for that True North team moving right along. We got the big number one. We got a throwback here. It's Parker Hat, and he's got that championship from 2019. A little jealous. Never got one. I'm going to come back, though. Once I hit the older classes, 40 plus, I'm going to win one of those, Parker. You wait. I'm going to be posting InsideX on Fox. But good job, Parker. Hope you can get it done this year at the Trans-Can. And the number 75 machine on that Husqvarna, and he is looking sharp. That's Mars Miller. He's from out west. He's got the Super Mini Blackfoot Direct, WP suspension dialed in. And man, that is a sweet looking unit as they get ready to race in Alberta. Thanks to our guy, Cordenbach there. We're good to go. You guys are going racing, and that's out in Alberta as well as Saskatchewan and across the country is starting to go. Quebec has got a lot of practice practice and racing going on. Ontario next weekend, and we're about to the Nationals. We are about 20 days out from Nationals, and we are going to get the Triple Crown rolling for you people, and that includes the Parts Canada Amateur Open. One more photo here, and it's Riley Hat, Parker's sister, and she's looking really good on that KTM with that Fox kit style, and she's out west. Hopefully we see her at Walton Transcan as well. But keep track of us, InsideX on Fox, and use that hashtag and follow Parts Canada Amateur Open. There's going to be that 3-round series coming up, and that starts at Walton 1. That's going to be the Saturday. Then we go to Gopher Dunes. Then Sandali will be the final. It's a 3-round series, and that will be a nice little leeway for you amateurs into the Eastern Canadian Amateur National, and that's at Deschambault. And then it's the Walton Transcan, the Mac Daddy, I like to call it, the Mac Daddy, and it's going to be in August there, as always. So 3 regional races into those 2 nationals, and we're going to get that underway in July. July 2nd is that first national. You can follow the Triple Crown Series. Always some good stuff coming from the guys there on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Make sure you check all those boxes. MRC for more of the official rules and scheduling. And then it's Ammo. They're going to take care of that Parts Canada Amateur Open. They're going to be the official sanctioning body for those guys. And obviously all the great people like Walton Transcan, Gopher Dunes, Sandali. Check those guys out on Instagram and keep up on all the good stuff. But that is it for the show today. It was awesome talking to Roodz of Roodz Garage. He dialed us right in, and it was cool to just have a little friendly banter. I was wondering if he was going to keep that bike. Man, that thing's a showpiece. I could see him riding it maybe 2 more times, putting it on the shelf, cleaning it, polishing it, having a couple beers around it. You know, that's typical Roodz style, but we love him. We appreciate what he has done for us, what he's done for Parts Canada Dream Bike. Hopefully we can bring him back in the 22 season, and that'll be season 3 of InsideX, and do another Dream Bike. Maybe, like I said, maybe a little bike for the kids, do a little 50 or something like that, a 65, and give that away. But Roodz Garage closing out another great Arma rewind with Gauld. Next week, we're going to have the 450 class. So I know we talked about the 250 class at Tanner Ward, Marco Canella, and Marshall Welton. No, sorry, not Marshall Welton. He's in the 450 class. That's who we're going to talk next week. But those 2 guys, plus Darian Sinhai, Marshall's teammate there. Going to talk about him coming up here soon in the Triple Crown. But we'll see who can get that first championship out of those guys, as there's no winners coming into this season, no champions coming in, as we've seen in the past. So 250 class is stacked. 450 class we talk about next week. You stay tuned for more InsideX.